College football 2024 week 4 has come to a conclusion, and I gotta say, this has been one of my favorite seasons I've watched in a very, very long time. I told you at the beginning of the year, give me very 2007 vibes. I mean, we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to talk about the Friday games we didn't get to talk about. Patrick Mahomes out there in Illinois had a decent little game there. Came up short, but I think still, Nebraska has a bright future. South Alabama blew the doors off App State. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the bigger games. USC, Michigan. I meant to have a specific video for it. Couldn't get to it, but no big deal, yo. We had the Vanderbilt doing what Vanderbilt does best. The almost scared Miami there. So there's a few different things. LSU taking care of business. The fall of Georgia Tech and the emergence of Louisville. If you watched my preview of this week, I told you to watch out for Louisville because of how they rank. The fall from grace from Northern Illinois. There's a lot to get into. So I appreciate you watching this video. Please leave this like on this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you want to watch more college football stuff, conversations. We talk about things. We say silly stuff. We do the fun stuff when it comes to college football because who doesn't love college football? So let's talk about these games, man. First, let's get into some memes because memes mean everything. The most important thing of this weekend is if you're familiar with the Florida State fecal matter guy. That's what I'll say. There's a gentleman on September 18th, tweet out, if K-State loses to BYU, he will insert a beefy 5-layer burrito up into places and spaces that you probably wouldn't imagine, okay? Sadly, what seems to happen is BYU didn't just beat K-State, they dominated K-State Niner in the battle of, it's not the Battle of the Mormons, but the Mormons did what they needed to do, how they needed to do it, and they executed at all phases an amazing, miraculous punt return, or is that punt return, kick return, off a bounce, runs backwards, runs around, like it was phenomenal. So we are just waiting for this gentleman to go ahead and you know what I'm saying. Hold up, I want to make sure nothing crazy going on over here, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so can confirm. All right. Let me. This is the real deal thing. This is what you come for. This is what you come to me for. You know what I'm saying? Can confirm. Burrito has been acquired. Apparently, with said burrito, I think he's going to go ahead and facilitate the things that he promised to the people. Hey, gotta do what you gotta do. So that was the most important piece of news that happened over that. But now we can go talk about some things. Wazoo versus San Jose. I mean, absolute psychopathery, and Wazoo went ahead and remember they beat Washington the other week too, so a whole lot of craziness going on over there. Blows out. This is what I mean. BYU blows out K-State. This is what the Big 12 is looking like right now. Insane. Colorado comes out 1-0. Of course, that crazy Colorado game. We have a full video on that, so we can watch that. We'll touch on that a little bit. Cincinnati opens up, and they look terrible in the rest of the game, but they come out looking good. They're 3-1. UCF come out 1-0. They're going to be a scary team. 1-0 from BYU and 1-0 from the Utah Utes. This is what the old playoffs is looking like right now. We had to do how we do the way we did it. Shout out to my Longhorns. We're going to have an AP poll review video coming soon too. That's a whole different separate thing because I asked you guys some comments about that. So when I get your comments on it. Oh, and I also asked you guys some comments about this whole beefy layer burrito thing, and a lot. It's a lot of word is born. A lot of Diddy jokes in here. Anyway, not the point. Not what's specifically going on. Shout out to Mississippi State, who's about to get torched on. How do you let Florida beat you? Huh? How do you let Florida beat you? We'll hop back in the memes in just a second. Let's hop back to these games. So, South Alabama, App State. The group of five is just unpredictable. I think that's what we can all say, and I think that's phenomenal. Appalachian State was one of those group of fives that was supposed to be one of those guys and do that thing. Weirdly enough, South Alabama came into this game 1-2 in the last game that they won, which was the last game. They outscored them. What was it? They beat them like 83-7 or something like that. So they got themselves an offense, and watching that offense, that Lopez kid or that whoever that quarterback is who be scooting around, delivering balls, it's a touchdown machine down there in South Alabama. So it was great to see there. Illinois, Nebraska, we kind of touched on that. Look, man, it was tough. The refs were terrible in this game. Besides, I do think that was the right call to give the interception to interception. Other than that, I just feel like there was a lot of weird lopsided calls. A lot, and this is not just in this game. All the home refs were terrible to the home teams this entire weekend. So that was something that we can see. But besides that, Nebraska definitely looks like a team with talent. They pulled out early. They just couldn't sink their teeth in a little bit deeper. But I don't think it's very indicative of them being a bad team. They gotta put it together a little more. Dylan Raiola is a freshman. Remember, just like Jackson Arnold, we talked about them too. These are freshmen, so it's hard to expect them to be perfect in their first year. But hey, pretty talented. Stanford Syracuse. This was a fun game. These Friday night and Thursday night games was crazy, but absolute nice showdown from a new ACC guy to an old ACC guy. So Stanford stakes their claim, and they've got one of the best receivers in the nation. Over 13 was his name, Sawyer or whatever. So a lot of goodness there. Washington State survives San Jose State out there in the Pac-2, and they've been a fun team to watch. They just seeing them struggle and grind out these wins has been phenomenal. The fact they beat Washington is great. Texas versus UL Monroe. Hey, god dang, Arch Manning's first start. He gets the job done. I like what we had. Few picks though. Again, you know what I'm saying? He's getting used to it. He's getting it under his belt. A lot of fun stuff that we saw there. So shout out to ULM for coming at Ohio State. Comes in and takes the biscuits from Marshall. I think they were at home, but still takes the biscuits away from Marshall. Ole Miss 52 over Georgia Southern. I mean, it's nothing crazy. They're still looking like the team that we thought they were. And here we go. Here's an actual team. But again, we have a full video about this. I just went to Oklahoma. I was trying to go to the box score of the game. We did a full video on this. But just to take a second, shout out to Jackson Arnold. Shout out to Michael Hawkins Jr. too. He's truly a dog. Do feel bad for him being Jackson Arnold, that is being benched again. He was the entire Sooners offense coming into this game. So to see him, struggle the way he did, it's very telling. But regardless, they definitely have some talent to be proud of in Oklahoma. This score is not indicative of the game and how it went. Tennessee was whooping up on Oklahoma, but early on Oklahoma did have a lot of antidotes for Tennessee, so it was a very good game. I think SEC. I think Oklahoma's going to do all right in the SEC. Maybe when they're not starting a freshman quarterback, they can get things to make a little more sense. But that was a good game, a great game, a very iron sharpens iron type of game. Now, if you want to see Play-Doh sharpening iron, let's talk about this Vanderbilt game. This Vandy, Missouri game, which I really thought that Vanderbilt, they had a true chance to win this, dog. Vanderbilt, I don't know how they did it. They Vanderbilted it up. They came out trying to say they weren't the same Vandy, but they're the same old Vandy. They missed like 17 field goals, as you can see. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. That's not supposed to be playing. I apologize. They missed like 17 field goals. So they actually, they got the stats? Let me see. Interceptions, punts, kicking. He was 50%. He was 3 for 3 from extra points. He was 3 for 3 for extra points, and he was 3 for 6 on field goals. He missed all the other field goals. If Vandy just hits those other, just one of those other ones, it's a different game. 2 of them, we're up and down. I looked at the wrong thing. I'm sorry. 2 for 4, 3 for 3 for extra points. He also went 50%. I can't believe that. Both of these kickers are trash. But he also had 12 points. He had 9 points. I apologize, Mister, for getting things mixed up. Both of y'all were the epitome of college kickers. It made the game a lot more insane. So shout out to y'all for doing that. Miami versus USF. This score, just look at the first quarter. People were scared. And then, Cam Ward does what he does. And that whole offense is just a well-oiled machine. It seems to be. Mario Cristobal definitely got some dogs over there. So they went off and did how they need to do the way they need to do. Penn State handling Kent State. Kent State goes back to being one of the worst teams in all of college football. USC versus Michigan. I didn't get to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it. Hey, Michigan just said we're going to play 1950s Big Ten football and just smash it down the mouth. I think that's like their little saying. But dog, they were manhandling, they were mauling, right? And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but they were grinding it out. And Mullins would get a carry and break one. I don't know who. This has never been a secret. I think that anyone to watch football, Donovan Edwards is just never going to be the star back there. Like, I don't know, as much as college football 25 wants to make it, as much as the playoff seems like, Donovan Edwards is a weapon that you use in specific scenarios, and he's great, but he's just not going to be that guy. Caleb Mullins. That boy did, and Donovan Edwards did get some dirty work carries, right? I mean, 14 for 74. It's not a bad day. It's not a bad day at all. But 17 for 159 and 2 touchdowns and a long of 63, and then he had another 53-yarder. Khalil Mullins. I mean, that was a coming out party for him. It seems like every other the running back that is also with Donovan Edwards seems to outshine him. But regardless, it was a great attack on the grind. 290 yards altogether, 32 yards passing, son. Miller Moss gets out there for 283, 3 touchdowns and an interception. So not a bad day for him. 28 for 51. They were slinging it. Lincoln Riley just said, "We're gonna do it. We're gonna sling it and keep slinging it." But hey, man, they even ran the ball. As you can see, 13 carries for Woody Marks for a cool hundo. You know what I'm saying? Miller Moss is getting eaten up back there in the backyard too. So it was just an interesting little display there. Let me look at these Michigan defensive stats because they were going crazy. I want to see the sack totals. 4 total sacks. How many sacks did USC have? To their 2 total sacks. I mean, I think that really defines and shows you what's been cooking and going on there. It was a very tenacious defensive effort as well as an offensive effort that just wanted to smash down your throat. So very, very good to see. Very great to see there. But bringing her home here, Notre Dame versus Miami High. You know, we knew there. This game was early on. It was close early on. But LSU pulls away. K-State and BYU, the Burrito Bowl, the Unk Bowl, Utah versus Oklahoma State. I didn't watch this. It's actually turned out to be a decent game. So I'll probably need to go back and watch this. 16 in the fourth. Interesting. I think this is more one of those games that doesn't tell the full story because I'm just looking at stats because no scoring. And then probably we put our backups in. You run up a cool 16 and we go from there. Miami, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, Louisville. Like I said, very, very disappointed in Georgia Tech. Very, very high on Louisville. Like I said, Louisville was already coming into this with a top, I think, 10 defense and top 10 offense in multiple different categories. So they are a scary team in the ACC. And right now, I'm hanging my hat for them to come out and win the ACC. Arkansas State versus Iowa State. I mean, just a murder. Clemson starting to return to form. They go ahead and get it done versus their rivals. Northern Illinois is another team that you got to be disappointed in. Going down to Buffalo, but hey, the Buffalo Buffaloes, were they? I don't know. They're no slouches, okay? They get after it. That's a good team, so it was good to see in overtime. Texas A&M survives Bowling Green, and I keep telling y'all, Texas A&M is an embarrassing team. I don't know what to tell you, and I like that little dude that's running around there. So is Mississippi State actually Vanderbilt? Is that what's happening? What is this? We were supposed to be making fun of Florida. They look competent. Graham Mertz was slinging it around the yard. I like Graham Mertz. Stop taking Graham Mertz out the... Woo! Either waste a year of DJ Lagway's eligibility or believe in your quarterback that you have in Graham Mertz. He's looked better than he ever has. They were scoring at will. Mississippi State, I don't know what the tell is for them. I thought they were going to be an okay squad. They look abysmal. Indiana, again, watch out for Indiana. They're a good squad too. Top ranking for the defensive side. We'll see if they really start playing some bigger, badder names. Maryland gets it done against Villanova. James Madison massacres North Carolina. But we keep saying that, but North Carolina still put 50 points up. I know the saying was they did that, but at the second quarter, it was like, oh my God, 52-21. But still, like within 30, basketball numbers. We're in March Madness. I guess Houston is just terrible. I'm from Houston, dog. Houston is terrible. West Virginia I thought Kansas was supposed to be good. Well, they're not. Tulane versus Louisiana. Louisiana gave Tulane a little bit of a scare there. Shout out to Army. They are 3-0. I forgot they were in the American. They're not independent anymore. Handling business there. Kentucky has an offense. It was Ohio. Calm down. Ball State versus Central Mich. Virginia versus the Teal Cox. Temple handling business against Utah State, Eastern Michigan over St. Francis, Jacksonville State over Southern Miss, Nevada over Eastern Washington, Arkansas versus Auburn, which was a lot closer game than you needed to. A lot of picks thrown as well. That quarterback does not care about his own life on Arkansas, so lots of fun there. Rutgers and Virginia Tech, UMass, Cedric Yam-San, Pittsburgh doing terrible things to Youngstown State. Texas Tech survives Arizona State. Welcome to the Big 12, Arizona State. And then by proxy of elimination, Navy beats FSU because Memphis beat FSU and Navy beat Memphis. I'm going to stop here. Shout out to the dang Roadrunners. You've been amazing. You've been phenomenal. I appreciate you recapping this crazy week of college football. I hope you enjoy it. Please let me know what your favorite game of the week was. It's probably that Baylor Colorado game. Again, separate video for that. Separate video for the Tennessee Oklahoma game. Separate video for that FSU gosh darn Cal game. So y'all got in there and watch those if you need to. Leave a like on this video, like or dislike if you don't like. We'll see you next time.